everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to see you here, and today we're going to briefly discuss Duolingo speaking part. Speaking has always been my favorite part. I scored 30 out of 30 on TOEFL speaking section, and on Duolingo production is my highest section. I scored 155, and that's the best I've done in all the sections. So this is the section I actually am confident about, and I want to share all my experience, and maybe my experience is going to help you score better. Let's begin. Firstly, let's start with discussing the task where you got to describe a picture. First, start with the obvious. Do not feel silly saying, I see the picture of a bird if you actually see a bird. Do not panic if you have no idea what kind of bird it is. Say, I see the bird flying in the sky. If there is nothing else to say, feel free to make assumptions, inferences. What is inference? It's an assumption based on facts. It's a conclusion you come to with your mind based on things you see. So I believe it is fall because trees look yellow. That's an inference. That's a great assumption. Good for you. That's something they also expect you to do on the test. For instance, it's probably winter because I see snow in the background. It's probably really cold. It seems warm, like summer, because I see green trees in the background. I believe they will not judge you based on your assumptions, so you can assume pretty much anything. If you see two people, you can say they seem like friends, or maybe it's brother and sister having fun, because the more you say, the merrier, right? The more, the better. Do not be quiet. Do not be silent ever. Try to just describe whatever you see. Do not make awkward pauses. Even if it seems very, very obvious thing to say, like the sky looks clear, or I think it's warm because I see the beach. It's fine, because it doesn't matter what your assumption is, as long as you're describing the picture, like keep going, keep talking. You might say something like, it looks really beautiful to me, or use other words instead of beautiful. So as long as you describe the banal, trivial things first, what you see, what are the people, what are they doing, what's the surroundings, start with adjectives and just describe how the picture makes you feel. That will really help you fill in the gaps. Tip number 2. Another really good strategy is to know how to reuse your topics. Obviously, it's good if you're well-rounded, if you can talk about a variety of topics. But if you have 2 weeks and you're terrified when you see an unknown topic, this could definitely come in handy. Learn at least 20 topics really well and try this trick to put the topic, adjust it to the unknown topic. What I mean, let's say you know how to talk about your mom, how she inspired you and what she taught you. So let's say there's a topic about your best friend who helped you in a difficult situation, or about the teacher who influenced you in some way. Don't think about a new topic. Use the topic about your mom, just replace your mom with your teacher or with your friend using the same thing. So learn one topic about your favorite person, whoever it is, just keep saying it's that. If you know a topic about your favorite book, if there is a topic, let's say you know really well how to describe your favorite book. It's a very generic topic, so you probably should be able to describe it. And during your preparation, make sure you know how to talk about your favorite book. There's many topics that you could fit the story about your book in. Let's say a story about an article you recently have read. When you see this topic, you're like, oh no, I haven't read any articles recently. I forgot everything I've read in the article, even if I had read it before. So what you ought to do is just say that you've read an article about your book. Don't mention that you've read it. Just say, oh, I stumbled upon this article that described this book. Describe the book and say, after this article, I'm really looking forward to reading it. If there is a topic about your favorite place, let's say you know about art exhibition that you went to. Don't think about what your favorite place really is. If it's a beach or botanic garden, it's really hard to describe botanic garden on the spot. If you know the topic well about the art exhibition you went to, go for it. There's a topic about volunteering. If you really volunteered in many places, that's great. But if nothing comes to your mind, if it's hard to describe your real volunteering experience, say you volunteered at that art exhibition or at a book fair where you stumbled upon your favorite book, right? And this all like connect the dots. If this is the topic about your favorite place, again, you can say, it's my home, describe your room a bit, or I like reading my favorite book, which is, by the way, blah, blah, blah. Do not stray away too much from the topic, of course. But if you have no idea what to say, this is a phenomenal skill, really, to make topics that are irrelevant sound relevant. Do not get me wrong, if they're completely irrelevant, they will lower your score. But it's very nice to have 20 topics that you're absolutely sure about and try to talk about them, no matter what your topic is, try to adjust. Tip number 3. Sometimes it's better to go with the easiest option that you feel confident that you can speak about than talking about what you really think. So tip number 3 would be, do not really think about your real opinion on the topic. Probably it sounds like a terrible advice, but listen, some topics it's really hard to talk about even in your native language. Like, what do you think about government or politics or some ecological problem? You need time to actually think about such topics. And when you try thinking about your real response, you waste time. Let's say there's a question, what is better, to have a job of your dreams that you're passionate about, or a job that's well paid? Let's say you really believe that it's better to have a job you're passionate about, but you have nothing much to say about it. You would say, I would like a job that I'm passionate about because I enjoy doing it. And then there's not much to say. But let's say about a well-paid job, it's really easy to describe and make a living. No matter which topic you choose, make sure you know what to say about it, even if it doesn't coincide with your actual opinion, because they don't care which option you choose. Do not really think what your real answer is. Speak whatever is easier to speak about. Tip number 4, use the strategy of pre-made sentences. When you're in a rush, when you're scared of the speaking topic, you need to have a few very good sentences pre-made in your head. They're completely grammatically correct, and use them like Legos. Going back to my previous video, remember the sentence, the more, the better, the more, the merrier, right? I'm talking about like learning few sentences in different tenses. For instance, let's say you never use present perfect, or you never use present perfect continuous. Try to memorize one good template and make sure you know how to fill in the words correctly so the sentence makes sense. The example of such sentence could be a sentence in, let's say, past perfect. Let's have a look at this sentence. Before I moved to US, I had worked in a library, for instance. So you have this sentence, before I did something, I had done something. Write it down and try to make 5 random sentences, switching the verbs, what you had done before you did something, right? And now when you're confident using this sentence, no matter what your speaking topic is, you can use one advanced sentence correctly. And here's additional points to your speaking. Yay. And this will help you greatly because you will not concentrate on the grammar, but just on the content. Number 5, when you're practicing, you do know the trick of recording yourself, of course, but there's another very important thing to recording yourself. What most people do is they record themselves once or twice, and they make the same mistakes over and over in each recording. Let's say you mispronounce something, or you make specific grammar mistake. So what I suggest doing after you make this recording, write down your top mistakes, like write them down on a piece of paper. Even if you think, no, I know I always make mistakes in this specific thing. Do not try to avoid that specific thing. Try to fix it. Write down that mistake and record yourself again, trying to avoid this mistake, speaking on the same topic. This is important. Do not switch the topic, and record yourself over and over again until the recording is perfect, or until you're happy with your recording. And this way you won't make these mechanical mistakes, because often people make, like, let's say you say clothes instead of clothes, for instance, or let's say you keep forgetting s, for example, you say my mom like instead of my mom likes. If you make any specific mistake, you're likely to make it again in every recording. So if you write it down and try to practice until you're actually saying it right, until you get it right, there is a huge possibility that you will not make this specific mistake on the test. So record yourself, listen to it, correct the mistakes, and do it over and over until you're absolutely satisfied with your recording. Well, that was my top 5 tips and tricks how to prepare for speaking section of Duolingo test, and actually of any test. I think it comes in handy with any test like TOEFL, IELTS. Thank you so much for watching. I will be making more videos on how to prepare for Duolingo test. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button to help me make better quality videos. Bye-bye.